We are here again. It is Thursday this week because the Dolphins play the Bills tonight. So giving it to you a little earlier than usual. Got my boy Reason with me from Phinside the NFL. It's last call at the dive bar. Not much more to say about it. A lot to talk about. The Dolphins fall to 0-2. A lot of questions with the coaching. Is Mike McDaniel on the hot seat? They have some open roster spots. Maybe a new promotion from the practice squad this week. We might see somebody new. We're going to talk about that. Let's get into it.
I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now. Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. From the Valor. Off the block. On the move. Going deep. Speedways. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
Welcome to Last Call. It's me and your boy Reason. Reason, how we feeling, brother?
Another day as a Dolphin fan, bro. I mean,
I swear we should get freaking like bonus pay for this shit.
I'm about to watch Gruden's. I got it queued up for after this. I haven't watched Gruden's breakdown and preview of this week's game, but I'm interested to see what he says about us, to be quite honest.
Yeah, because you know he's going to be cooking.
Yeah, for sure. Did you watch that Kurt Warner breakdown?
No. I've seen enough dialogue about it on the timeline, though.
Yeah, what I didn't get was people were like, oh, if you could come away from watching that and you think McDaniel's the problem, like, what are you talking about? He literally complains about how the progressions are built into certain concepts, saying they're, ass backwards, and he like literally rips into the conceptual design, and he talks about how the scheme in certain areas is just making it harder on a quarterback unnecessarily. And obviously there's a few Tua faux pas on his own self. But, man, I don't know how you watch that thing and don't come away scratching your head saying, like, dude, why aren't we simplifying things more? You know what I mean? So,
and I think, we're 4 years into this, and we're still dealing with the delay of games and the problems with the play call. And it's like, dude, come on, man. You got to. And then, we had a meeting after the game. We figured out what we need to do. It's like, what you took, first of all, I don't think the meeting's going to change anything. Because it doesn't work like that. But it take you 4 years to have this conversation. Like, this has been an issue.
Yeah. Did you see Waddle flipping out on that delay of game, like yelling at the sideline and stuff?
Yeah, like he was going at McDaniel in his face and shit.
Dude, I mean, as much as, Tua with that interception, no good. 2 false starts, 2 delay games. We give it, all of a sudden, the right side of our line just starts collapsing, right? And we give up 3 sacks on the 2 drives. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, man, it's crazy because in those 2 drives where we needed to score a touchdown to basically win that game, everything we were worried about, from McDaniel's coaching to, Tua throwing a pick in a big moment, to the weakness of the offensive line, to the procedural penalties we've been dealing with for his whole regime, all flared up in the final 2 drives just to ensure we didn't win. It was crazy.
That's also a sign. Like, that's winning football. That's how you win in those moments.
That's a bad football team, bro.
We fumbled, man.
That's a bad football team.
And also, dude, we wasted a timeout as well. That's one thing you left out. Luckily, they had an injury, which we got it back, but we used it the next play. So, dude, everything you can absolutely think of went wrong on that drive. Like, everything. It was like, how is this still happening?
Well, and then against the Colts, 4th and goal, you take a 12-man in the huddle. And you saw the play we were talking about where Waddle was, pissed off, was what happened.
Out of the huddle.
Yeah, what happened this week? They were having substitution issues, and that led to a delay of game.
Yeah, I remember Tua was listening, and he backed up out of the huddle so he could make sure they didn't get 12 men. But then by the time he got back, got the play call in.
You know what's crazy, dude? And they're going to label us two ears for this conversation. That's fine. Okay, but this is a reality. Have you noticed Tua is the only one who ever knows what's really actually going on?
Dude,
Like,
that's
he's the only
always
one
been
who
the
knows,
case.
yo, you got to cut that motion off. No, you got to line up. Like, people complain about him not setting up players, but I don't know what people are watching because he's the only one. Like, look at the little detail you just noticed. He had counted how many people were going to be in the huddle, and he backed out to make sure they didn't get a penalty and he was the only one aware in the huddle. You know what I mean? Like, as much as you want to give him grief for certain areas, you can't say this guy isn't, like,
Prepared,
pre-snap. You know what I mean?
You said it there. My issues are not anything to do with Tua pre-snap. It's the post-snap stuff that gets them a little bit.
Yeah, well, for sure, 110%.
But I'll say this: like Tyreek came on our podcast when we first started, and he said that. He said people don't know this, but when we have private workouts, Tua still like me. There'd be times me and Waddle don't know what the fuck we be doing. Like he said that word for word. He's like Tua be on our ass. Like he be getting mad as hell at us because like. We don't know what Tyreek said that publicly. And everybody was like, wow, year 3, Tyreek's just now learning the offense. So this has been a thing.
It's still happening, that interception to Tyreek, right? The one that got called back. Yeah. Right? Look at what he does. Tua throws it like he's going to keep breaking underneath, but instead he broke outside the defender. And then all of a sudden he turns it upfield. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, the guy still... And remember, we had McDaniel and Tua calling him out last year for him running routes that led to interceptions and turnovers. Do you remember? People seem to be forgetting this.
Yeah. And, like...
They got so frustrated last year, they started calling him out for it, and now here we are, game 2, and he's still doing it.
Well, you remember the Broncos game, the first drive, he called that touchdown, the long touchdown? And after the game, he said... I didn't know what route I was supposed to run. I freestyled on that play. Luckily, Tua found me, and we got on the same page. And I think that's some of the aggravation with Tyreek is he's still playing a little backyard bullshit. And he's creating shit on the fly. Like sometimes he might make the decision. He might know what he's supposed to do, but he might see something and go, oh, I'm going to do this. But that might work with Mahomes. Like that kind of shit they do all the time. Or he might just not know. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to find an open area, or I'm going to try to just leave my guy behind, and I'll run this way, that way, this way. Yeah. When you're in a timing offense, that's a big problem.
Yeah. This is why, not as great athletes and guys who are not quite household names like River Craycraft, Mac Hollins, who's another good example, Trent Sherfield, why they actually make impacts in this offense, because they might not have that athleticism and that breakaway speed, but they're like route technicians. They know what to do, and they do their job well.
Period. When they line up,
they know their
job.
Yeah.
And it sounds simple, but like that's a big thing.
Yeah, in such a complex timing offense too, right? And you kind of wish some of our stars picked that up a little bit too. So,
On the other hand, I will say it was nice to see Waddle bounce back. Yeah, I think that not only did he have an awesome game, I thought he played tough. I think that he made some catches that I thought he would have dropped last week or last season over the middle. Yes, he's banged up, but that just might be reality with Waddle. But I thought he made a lot of catches over the middle, getting hit in his lower back, and he hung on to it. I think he played his ass off Sunday, and I really wish we could have won just for the Waddle performance, honestly.
But even go back to like Brian Flores' last few years. Whenever we've always gone outside the numbers and had been forced to thread outside the numbers, Waddle's always the one that eats. Like, he's always been the one that eats. And you look at what they like. That was what was crazy to me. Like, look at the adjustment we made. You notice how we started cooking them outside the numbers? Like, Tua was out here just dropping throws that made everyone's narratives about he can't throw outside the numbers. we're going out the window, right? And dude, and then McDaniel just reverts to the same old stuff. Get back, like, look at when that interception happened, right? Throwing over the middle of the field, right? Like they start reverting back to the same old stuff. 15 carries, dude. Ollie Gordon, okay? I don't even want to talk about his run rush for 8 yards. You want to talk about? Do you remember early in the game that Malik end around that got like 16, 18 yards? Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Go back and watch the all-22 of that and go look at the block that Gordon laid on that. So the guy's blocking, like for positive plays. His only run is for 8 yards. We've seen enough. Reel him in. It's like the whole Willie Gay conversation going on X, right? Yeah. Well, how could you fit Willie Gay in because of the green dot and everything like that? First of all, I thought Jordan Brooks was the green dot player.
Yeah.
And if he isn't, we got issues that Dodson is.
Agree.
Second of all, you find ways to get players that make plays on the field in whatever you do. The guy was out there for 3 snaps? And one of those was a big explosive play. I did the snap count. He got 3 snaps.
3 total snaps with that one. I thought he was talking about that one drive where he made back-to-back plays.
Yeah. But
took him out on third down.
Yeah. That's what I'm sitting here saying. Like, he's out here making plays on limited snaps, but we've seen enough. Good coaches find ways to get good players on the field and in positions to be successful. And I'll go back to Jonas Savai now. I'm going to talk about this every week on this show. You should have kept him on the right side.
He's dealing with more than just being a rookie. Everybody knows this, and this seems like an excuse now. But you've talked about this before. I know I've heard you talk about it on your other shows. He's like when you're a right guard and you get thrown to the left side, it's like wiping your hand with the wrong hand or wiping your ass with the wrong hand. He having to relearn the position altogether, and he is struggling. He really is struggling. Like the struggles are real, but. He's not just a rookie. He's having to deal with a whole new position and doing everything backwards. Yeah. So, we'll see, how it shakes out. But yeah,
that's why Butch Barry's lost a little faith with me. Good coaches put rookies in the best positions to be successful.
Yeah.
You knew this right side was injury prone. Okay. James Daniels coming off a torn Achilles. Austin Jackson's missed more games than 2, and here we go again. All right. But I keep going back to this, Bobby, every time I talk about it. James Daniels has reps on film at left guard in the NFL that are good. Why did you even, why are we even doing this? You know what I mean? You got a guy who at least had a level of comfort playing the position at this level. Jonah's never had a level of comfort playing this position in his whole career. And then what would have happened? When Jackson goes down, like we all knew was going to happen, you can just easily kick him out to right tackle. And you're good to go. And we're set at least the bookend tackles. Instead, do you want to move him around and make him regress like Keon Smith has done? Not even saying Keon Smith was ever good, but you can clearly see the regression, right?
Yeah.
So.
And I think hindsight's 2020, of course, but yeah, it does look a lot worse now that we were one series in and James Daniel was already hurt again. So it's like, man, you took the left guard route and you didn't even have to.
Yeah.
That's really what makes it hurt. It's like
you complicated it for yourself and for the rookie for no reason.
Now, have you advocated for switching him back to right guard now, or are we in this?
I've been saying this since I heard in rookie minicamp that he was going to be playing left guard. I've been saying this isn't the right move.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking you, since James Daniel has left the building.
No, I think he's staying at left guard. You know what they're going to do? They're so invested in it already, right? What do they got, 6 months invested into it?
Personally, what would you do?
I'd move him back.
Move him back to right guard.
Just at least see. Yeah. Look at Keon Smith. Where was he most comfortable? Left tackle.
Yeah.
So if you're going to play him at guard, play him at left guard. He's used to using that side of the body. He's more comfortable. He'll be more comfortable in an uncomfortable position. I want to at least see it, and you'll find out for real. Yeah. Are Jonah's struggles because of the position change, or does this kid just not have it?
Right.
At least you'll get a little bit of an idea.
Well, we're both big fans of Jonah, so
yeah, I think he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we're 2 games into this thing, so hard to be.
But if I was the interim head coach tomorrow, and because Mike got fired at 11:59, one of my first decisions would be, "Hey, Jonah, you're going back to the right, bud." That would be one of my first things I'd change.
That's a great segue. So, a lot of talk this week. Hot seat, not hot seat for Mike. The bye week, it might be a good time. Some people think it's too early. Some people just think this group is going to sing Kumbaya to the end of the season because that's what we see. It's not really, you can't blame somebody for thinking that because that's what history tells us. Where do you stand? When do you think they would actually pull the plug and what would it take?
Where do I stand? Should have been fired after week 1. What do I think they're going to do? Should have been fired after the Jets game last year, to be completely honest, because I wanted him gone when we were 2-6 and 2-4. I was like, It's over. We've seen it. It's been exposed now that Tua's not here. And then Tua comes back, is playing out of his mind, and we're still finding a way to lose. You got 2 deadlines. You got after the Bills lost, or you got the bye week. That's really your only 2 shots to make an in-season move. I've been saying this. Rip the Band-Aid off. At least try and salvage some kind of season. I'm not trying to watch this for another 15 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, now, on the flip side, do you ride McDaniel out hoping it continues to tank so you get a better draft pick? Or do you got to worry about what happened last season, where all of a sudden they go on a little bit of a run and finish 9-8, and you don't make the playoffs, and you don't get a draft pick, and you're stuck with the coach again? Well, and you're going to fire the coach anyways. You know what I mean?
That's where my thought process is. It's like, if we get blown out by the Bills, you know you can't compete with the teams you want to compete with anyways. Regardless of where you think you could win some games or maybe we make the playoffs, that is your proof that you're still not competing for anything with this regime. And like you just said, that's my fear. You let these guys hang around, fight for their job, and the Dolphins way, they're going to win you 9 games. They're going to be on every one of those in the hunt graphics all the way to the end. Just got us right. You know what I'm saying? Got to be quicker than that. Got you $1. And dude, they're going to all get fired, and they're going to give the next guy the 14th pick. Thank you. Because we wanted to save some pride. We want to like not hurt these guys' feelings. So you're going to let them play the whole year out so they can screw the next guy. No, thank you. And I've been on the other side a long time. I would normally say give them every chance possible. But like, look, you go into Buffalo tomorrow night or tonight, and you get steamrolled by Buffalo again. You got 10 days. That's a long 10 days to make some hard decisions. I'm with you. Rip the Band-Aid off. If you smell shit, call it shit.
Yeah.
And let's get it over with.
There's a shitstorm coming.
But then you have the other side. I never really thought about this at all. You get an interim in there that gets the boys rallied, and you win games you shouldn't win. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
Maybe we get to the playoffs then, at least.
Yeah. Or we just win 9 games.
Because 0-3, you can kind of recover from. Because you've got you can only lose 4 games the rest of the season. If you play if you get a couple of those games you weren't expected to win, and you win the games you were expected to win, you could go on a little bit of a run there, right? Because now all of a sudden you got to think, if we lose tomorrow, we've got 15 games. So if you can find a way to go an 11-4 over that.
What gives me, I don't know if I'd say hope, because I don't know if I'm hoping for it, but the only thing that backs me off the ledge a little bit is that after the Bills, well, we should have beat the Patriots. That would have been a nice thing. 1-1, we should be 2-0, but 1-1, you go get beat by Buffalo. Okay. But the only thing holding me in there a little bit is after Buffalo, man, you can really, on paper, we got to put clauses on everything now. You could rattle off some wins. You could really fix your schedule. You could fix your record pretty quickly the next 7 games after that.
Well, we all thought we'd lose to the Bengals, and Jake Browning's in there now. So that's a chance to win in prime time later in the year, right? All of a sudden, things are changing up on the other side is what I'm saying. So if you lose this week, there's a chance you get a momentum, you get a raw coach, Anthony Weaver, and you can go 10-4, Bevel, and you can go 10-4. There's a chance. You know what I mean?
Who you rolling with, Bevel or Weaver?
Bevel. And I got reasons. Number one, he's been an OC in 2 Super Bowls. He's OC the team to a Super Bowl. Okay? None of our coordinators can say that. Number 2, he's the only one with experience as an interim head coach.
Yep, that's true. That's
right,
a big one.
When he took over in Jacksonville. So but now we're into another conflict. Does Bevel become your play caller, or does he let Frank Smith actually be an offensive coordinator?
I'm
happy with both. I'm down with Bevel or Weaver, but Bevel seems like the smarter call.
I think Bevel, for the football guy, for the X's and O's, Bevel, lean Bevel a little bit. But I think if you're going to have that Dan Campbell just guys rally behind the guy, I think Weaver can overcome some of his he can rally the staff and the players enough to get over some of those X and O's that he doesn't know, like Bevel Wood has been around for a while.
Does his let me ask you this then, okay? Do you have any hesitation now that, remember his defense was number 9 against the pass, number 9 against the rush last year. Now it's 22 against the pass, 25 against the rush. It was a top 10 total defense. Now it's 26th. It was a top 10 scoring defense. Now it's 31st. We once again, looks like we're going to go through another season, Bobby, where we don't get a lot of takeaways defensively, because that was one of the things we didn't do very well last year.
None.
With all these warts and flaws you're seeing with him defensively. Because did you see against the Patriots, he was getting baited into those screen calls. It's funny. You heard, the announcers talking about, they're the Dolphins. We talked to them this week, and they're really aware of the Patriots screen games. But how many times did you see that they called the proper, simulated pressure, dropping guys back into coverage, into the flats to take on that screen? They were, instead, when we were called a simulated pressure and drop Jalen Phillips back, they would beat us with a quick strike with him in coverage, right? And then they would bait us into blitzing, and when we blitzed, boom, they'd hit us with a screen. And Josh McDaniels, I feel like, outcoached Anthony Weaver.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely the defense concerns the shit out of me, by the way. I want to be very
just get
clear.
The ball out quick and we're a disaster.
The defense, that's probably the biggest disappointment of the season so far. And there's a lot to be disappointed about. The defense got, the secondary is up for grabs, and that is a big thing. So that could really handicap a coach. But I felt like the defense got better in a lot of ways. You didn't have to worry about the front 7 at all. You were going to be able to get after the quarterback with 4, which is also a big deal of helping that secondary. We haven't been able to do that. We're just getting, basically, when we don't score, we're basically saying, give the other team 3 to 6 points and then bring the offense back out. Because the defense is giving up a score like every damn possession.
Yeah.
And that's tough. No matter how, like I was telling the guys on our show earlier this week, if the Dolphins score 27 and win 27-13, we're all fucking hype right now. We're like, okay, we shook back. We're good. The offense scored 27? Oh, hell yeah. But the defense gave up 33. The offense had to go back out there and try to win the game, and
we had to score 34. Yeah.
And crumbled. So now you don't even care about the 27 points. It tastes like shit in your mouth. Yeah. And that's the problem right now. It's like, if we win 27-13, we're thrilled with the offensive performance. Had a couple dumb passes, but this fireworks came back a little bit. I mean, it was an underthrow. We had a deep ball to Tyreek. Yeah. Beautiful bucket ball to Waddle for the touchdown.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Some good outside throws. Did some different things there. You would feel good. But we needed 34, like you said. And when we were going to get it, and God bless Achane stepped on the line. But, hey, that's football, brother. That's football. We still had every chance after that to go win that game, and should have win that game. And the offense didn't deliver. And so nothing else matters. Unfortunately, given circumstance, nothing matters about what the offense did because they lost the game.
And nothing went our way when you get the first punt return for a touchdown in 5 years and then give up a kickoff return for a touchdown on the very next play. I said, what are the gambling odds on that? That's got to be at least 100,000 to 1. Like,
that's
what are the
great returns? You
know what I mean? Like, I want to know what the betting odds would have been on that, because I want to bet on that sometime again in my lifetime. That was ridiculous, bro. Like, oh my God. Shout out to Malik Washington, though. He's a dog.
Dude,
Achane's a dog, too.
Malik's looking awesome. Achane is our best player. I think, literally pound for pound, our best player.
Best player, yeah, 100%.
He's
and that's why I'm already coming to terms with, we're not going to be able to pay him, and he's going to walk.
No way.
I've been talking about this for a couple months on my channel, bro. Think about this for a second. Under Greer, Greer wouldn't pay him what he's going to be asking. Greer won't pay him what he's going to ask him.
The running back thing is tough. You're right about that.
But that's the thing. You can't look at this guy as just a running back. He's a weapon.
Well, you also got, this is what I was going to say.
When we're saying he's the best player on the team that has Tyreek Hill, think about that for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can say that with confidence.
He's a $12 to $15 million a year player, and are we going to pay him that?
And it could be way worse by the time he gets paid. You might want to go ahead and think about it.
I'm telling you, bro. I made this comparison. He's a modern-day Reggie Bush.
Dude, he's like a bit like Reggie Bush on steroids.
More explosive.
If you could take steroids. Yeah.
I said that. People are like, "Oh, he's not more explosive." I said this on Twitter a couple months ago. People were like, "He's not more explosive." I said, "Bro, I don't know what you are watching. This guy's legit 4.2 speed, bro. Like he's a track athlete. Like legitimately."
Yeah, I told people, I've said this for over a year. If they lined up and actually raced all them boys, I think Achane would jog on them dudes and whoop them. I think he really would.
You think you take Tyreek?
Especially now. Yes, I do. Tyreek did put in that track work this offseason. Hold on, let me calm down. He trained for track, so he got some of that twitch back.
I just crazy. Dude, Mac Hollins reached a higher miles per hour on the field this week than Tyreek did by like almost a full mile. He was over 21, and Tyreek was just over 20 miles per hour.
Well, circumstances matter.
But Mac Hollins reaching over 21 miles per hour against you, bro.
Yeah, that's insane. I was going to say, though, the thing about that confuses people with Achane is Reggie was doing all the theatrics. You know, it was the back steps. He looked like D'Angelo Hall returning a punt return every time he took a handoff. So, like, that part, I get. Reggie Bush's agility and change of direction was what made him crazy.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Achane grabs the ball, and he makes it look nonchalant and easy and just jogs past people that are normally fast. And he's just faster.
But look at how nifty he was on that run that didn't count, bro.
He looks, that's the problem, though, reason. People don't think he's on Reggie's level because he's making it look easy. They don't realize it looks easy because it's a special talent.
Yeah. And
he really is playing in slow motion out there with them boys.
Bro, and the power he's had to have on some of his touchdowns this season.
Let me tell you something. Dude, his rookie year, I went to the Houston training camp, joint practices, and I met Achane. And we took a picture. And I dapped him up. And when I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I dapped him up. And when I did, I hit him with a little forearm. And he went, like he squeaked. And I said, oh, no, this is our running back. I said, this guy's going to get killed. And, but, dude, he don't play it. Like, he really does. Like, he's small. Like, you think he's small? He's smaller than that. And, dude, no, he plays strong. He's like Raheem Mostert in that sense. Raheem Mostert didn't look strong, but he finished runs.
Yeah.
No, Achane's our best player. I think you can't beat the New York Giants and let Barkley go play for the Patriots. Like, this is not, you can't do that. You pay Achane. The next regime, Lord willing, knows what they got there at least. You keep him, get rid of Tyreek's money, and take care of Achane, and we're all good here. Waddle is your true number one receiver. Achane is your running back and your weapon. And I think, you put more money in like trenches and foundation pieces. You built through the draft, you get a secondary, and we're off to the races. I'm not going to drop the Q word because I, get people triggered up this early in the season, but where we're going there in the rebuild.
He's probably Achane's probably my favorite player, and he'll always hold a special place because of how early I was on that draft evaluation on him.
Yeah, you loved him coming out. That's true.
Yeah, I started that 2-2 train on social media for him, right? Like, I used to bug Richmond Webb all the time about him because they both went to Texas A&M, right? So, and, now that we can sit here and say he's the best player on the team, like, it's a fucking give me myself the Barry Horowitz on that.
There you go. Tap yourself on the back, but go ahead.
I don't know, man, but I love, dude, I hope we pay him, and that's a guy you want to see. Like, he's not even tapped into his prime yet. Like, imagine what his prime's going to be when he understands the league a little bit more. Like, and what's crazy too is, for the most part, everyone was worried that his body wouldn't hold up because of the size you talked about, but his body's held up pretty well.
Yeah, he's had a couple things. I think what really muddied it up was the back-to-back ones. He got like hurt. And I think they brought him back maybe a little early. And he got hurt against somebody. Remember what was it, like the hip tackle? In the backfield versus the Jets, I believe, towards the end of that year.
Yeah.
So I think that the relevancy made it seem like he got hurt more than he did. Yeah. But what's cool about Achane too is that draft is, what was it? We passed on. We wanted a running back earlier, but Greer was it Cam Smith? What year was that?
That was the Cam Smith year. Yeah, they took Cam Smith at first.
Yeah, I think it was Isaiah Spiller or somebody. We wanted a running back, but they went off the board. But
I think it was Isaiah Spiller. I actually think you're right.
Yeah, but we're all like thinking in our heads like we want Spiller because he was the higher rated guy coming out in the draft. Yeah. But come to find out, McDaniel wanted Achane with the second round pick.
Yeah,
so when
with
he
the
was
pick they took,
he was
Cam
still there
Smith
at
with.
101 or 103, whatever it was. And dude, Mike McDaniel was like, send it in. Y'all talked me out of this at the second round pick. He's still here at 101. Send it in now. And that's where the fist pump video of him in the draft room when they got Achane comes from.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, good call. Jeez.
And Isaiah Spiller, he's like in our practice squad somewhere.
Yeah, he's not even doing anything in it now, right? He was
He
good
got
in
cut
college.
by the Chargers. I
Yeah.
think he got picked up by somebody, but then I think he got cut again. I think he's on a practice squad in like Baltimore or something. But yeah, HN, 1 of 1. I mean, he's special.
Yeah, and that was that draft. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs won that draft too, right? Like, there's some good running backs in that draft too.
Who was the other one? There was another big dog in the first, right?
Who was it? Oh, Bijan.
Yeah. Like, there was another big dog. The Gibbs one was a shocker. We knew Bijan was going to go, but how high? And then they went back with Gibbs right after, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's when they got Gibbs, Laporta, and Jack Campbell.
Oh,
The Lions crushed us that draft.
bro, and I was in that draft cycle. Laporta and Jack Campbell were like my dudes at those positions.
Yes.
I was so bitter because these guys. You remember back the Penei Sewell campaign I was on?
Yeah.
Like, look at this. The Lions have been drafting all my guys for years, and look where they are, bro.
The Lions and the Steelers, I remember. Like,
oh yeah, remember was that the year where? No.
Last year
they drafted Broderick Jones in 2023, and I remember being like, okay, they drafted a tackle, and then the year after last year is when they took Fatanu. And they took that center that I wanted, Zach Frazier,
out of West Virginia, the wrestler, and he's a dog.
Listen, when I look for interior guys,
Wrestler,
I look for wrestling backgrounds. That's like the first thing I look for, bro. When everyone wanted Jackson Powers Johnson, who's actually been really good, so I'm not taking away from him.
Yes,
but I was like, no, Zach Frazier is the center you want to take, and Zach Frazier is that freaking dude, bro.
Oh, he is. He's good.
Oh man, we took Liam Eichenberg instead of Creed Humphrey.
And we traded up. Don't forget. Yeah, that one hurt because that one would have been a game changer. I like Brewer, but dude, Creed Humphrey is like an anchor for
Well, that's who I thought we might probably trading up for. That's
what everybody thought.
And oh my God. And then think about this, dude. So think about this draft. You could have had, I mean, do I want to really go there? You could have had, okay, let's stick with Jalen Waddle. You could have had Penei Sewell, but let's stick with Jalen Waddle. Let's go with Penei Sewell, actually. You could have had Penei Sewell, okay? Then you could have turned around, got Jalen Phillips, all right? Same thing goes there. Everyone was wrong and wanted Najee. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's come to that conclusion. But then you could have turned around and think of this offensive line. You could have turned around. You still take Javon Holland because we were going to take Javonte Williams, but he went before the pick.
Oh, that was another big running back curveball.
Yeah, remember they traded up.
We wanted Javonte. We thought they sniped us.
Yeah, they did. So let's say you still take Javon Holland, but then look at this. You could have traded up. You could have stayed, but let's say you still trade up to 42. You go ahead. You take Creed Humphrey.
Yep.
And then instead of taking Hunter Long, you take Quinn Miners.
Yes, that was it. Oh my God.
Think of this offensive line right now. Think of this. You would have brought in Teron Armstead, right? Because of obviously what happened with Flores and then McDaniel. So you would have had Teron Armstead, or you could have just said no Teron Armstead and you could have just had Penei Sewell and Austin Jackson.
Stay at left tackle.
Yeah. But we know the smart move would have been still bringing Teron Armstead and get rid of Jackson. But that's hindsight, right? I didn't want Jackson when we drafted him, so it's not hindsight for me. But look at this offensive line. You could have had Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
Right? You could have figured out left guard so much easier. You could have just stuck Connor Williams there instead of moving him to center. Then you have Creed Humphrey at center. Then Quinn Miners at right guard, who's one of the highest paid guards in the NFL right now.
He's so good too.
And then you would have had Austin Jackson or Penei Sewell on the right side. Look at that stud line. And then let's say you move off Jackson the next year. So you kick Panay back to right tackle and you sign Taron Armstead. Think of that line. You got one of the best lines in football.
You know, I forgot about how bad that draft hurt us. Because I remember loving Miners. Dude, the Senior Bowl.
I had him on my show, bro. Listen,
yeah, dude, the Senior Bowl, this dude everybody fell in love with that
dude. He was looking for property in Miami. Because
they loved him, right?
Dude, Stootsville went to the same small college, Whitewater, Wisconsin. Went to the same University of Whitewater, Wisconsin. He had their numbers. They were telling him, we're going to draft you if you're on the board, like right around that area. And you can all thank Brian Flores for that because Brian Flores wanted his alma mater guy.
College guy.
Yeah. Don't you remember when do you remember? You might not remember because it was a long time ago now. But do you remember the call they made to Hunter Long when they took him? And that's the first thing Brian Flores talks about. I was so excited to draft someone from Boston College, from my old school. Like, you could tell he strong-armed the move. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell. And Quinn Miners would have been godly there. Even if you would have taken Liam Eichenberg, he would have ended up supplementing Liam Eichenberg. He would have
made up for it. Yeah, he would have made up for it.
Yeah.
But dude,
whiff.
Panay, Creed, which you probably wouldn't have taken all three of them. So it probably would have been Waddle, Jalen Phillips, Creed, Miners, and I'm happy with that. Happy as hell.
But you would have needed a smart. But look at this is why I made that whole point, Bobby. Look at what the Steelers did. They drafted Broderick Jones, then they come back and they draft Fatanu, and they turn around the next round and they take a center. If we would have been smart, that's what we would have done. We would have taken Panay and then the center. And then they probably would have taken Quinn Miners, but the smart thing would have been like double up the players there. You know what I mean? Like, and think about our depth. You know what? Like, it's just, man, like. Yeah,
they could have built a bona fide offensive line for a decade in one draft.
And then injuries slowed. We all thought Jalen Phillips and Javon Holland would be massive hits, but injuries have slowed down both those guys.
Yeah, right? Javon was awesome. Out the gate, Javon was amazing.
Amazing, but he left his knees in MetLife on that Black Friday, bro.
Knees. Never forget the injury report. Knees.
Yeah, remember? He left. You know, he's never. Do the timeline. He's never been the same since that game, bro.
And then he went and signed with MetLife. That's crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy, dude.
This is why we can't go back and do the hindsight draft talk. But
the thing is, we knew at the time, at least I did on my channel, I knew at the time this was the wrong call.
Yeah, those you know were absolutely, like, Creed Humphrey was the most his, like, Raws. He was, like, the most explosive center we've ever seen.
Oh, my God. He was just a sure hit. And remember, because you remember in 2020, they were trying to get a center. Remember, they were going to take Cesar Ruiz.
Yeah, the Saints took him. That's how we got Noah.
And then the Saints kicked him out to guard, but he was a center, remember? So we were looking for our center in the previous year. What, like, you know what I mean?
And remember, I don't know how much this matters, but remember, people were already like, we're going to get Creed. He's the number one center, and he's left-handed to go with Tua.
Yeah.
I remember even to that point, everybody was like, it was like I don't know if that actually matters, but it's to the T, like the perfect person to draft there. And they trade up, and we're like, holy shit, we got Waddle.
Yeah.
We got Jalen Phillips, and we're about to get Creed Humphreys. And we were all like, it was like Liam Eichenberg, and it was like, oh, okay.
Dude, shout out to Dante Colonelli. He was the only one on my panel that liked the pick at the time when we took Liam Eichenberg. Yeah, I told him, I don't know about this one, bro. You know what I mean? And then I remember doing my prospect profile, dude. I remember laughing when I was chopping up the film at how many times this guy was lunging. And defenders would just, like, he'd lunge. Defenders would just, like, watch him and then, like, go around him. Like, I was like, this is a joke, dude. Like, here we go. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Good times.
High character, high character kid, Notre Dame.
Obviously, we draft the only, offensive line bust out of Notre Dame in how long, eh? You know?
No shit. Well, last thing, we'll do this and then we'll wrap up here. What do you think they're going to do with the practice squad elevation here? Because you got Jalen Wright back, right? So you don't need Jeff Wilson anymore. So we're thinking what?
I mean, I think a lot of fans want to see Greg Dulcich. I think Hayden Rucci would make sense there too.
Hayden Rucci would make a lot of sense if you're trying to run the ball. Remember, we go play Buffalo. We have success running the ball down their throats.
Yeah.
We really do.
Would make a ton of sense.
If they're wanting to go get up there and get nasty and try to fucking play physical and actually do something right, Hayden Rucci is the perfect elevation, I think. Just put him out there and say, go hit somebody.
Go be Gucci, Rucci. Let me ask you this. What's your prediction?
I'm not feeling great, I'll be honest. I mean, there's nothing to feel great about. Like, I'd love to be like proven wrong or whatever. Like, we come out tomorrow and beat the Bills. I tell people this. I'm all the way out, but if you go beat the Bills in Buffalo, knowing that I know that the Bills are showing up tomorrow with the idea that they're going to end this Dolphins era of football. So I know the Bills are going to show up. If they actually show up and play up to that level and beat the Bills tomorrow night, I will give it full respect and I'll feel pretty good. And with that being said, I'm thinking like 34-17.
Yeah, that's literally what I picked on my show. I mean, if you don't include the primetime playoff game against Kansas City, in regular season primetime, we're 3-9 under Mike McDaniel. Last time we played them in primetime last year, remember they whooped us 31-10, right? And that was at home. We can really only ever beat bad teams on primetime. We beat what? I think our only wins in primetime.
We beat the
Kenny
Baltimore
Pickett
that year.
Yeah, but that was under Flores. I'm talking under McDaniel.
That's true too.
Yeah, I'm talking under McDaniel. Under McDaniel, we beat what? The Steelers with Pickett.
Yeah, which we barely fucking won that. No Igbenogany had a fucking game-stealing interception.
Yeah, we beat New England with Mac Jones, right? And then last year, we won a primetime game. Who did we beat last year in primetime? It wasn't anyone very good at all again, I think, too. No, it was actually. Didn't we beat Stafford and the Rams in primetime?
Oh, yeah. That was like our best complete ball game of the year.
Yeah. So that was actually a good game, but then we lost in primetime to the Packers a couple weeks later, right? Where
Thanksgiving or Christmas.
It was, but it was like Tua was about to bring us within one score, and then that poor coaching job inside the red zone by McDaniel where remember, he was even taking all of our personnel off, like all of our great personnel, like Tyreek and Waddle were all off the field, and he's had all the jabronis out there, and we just became pass happy.
That was another complaint I had on the game-winning drive. They do the deep shot to Waddle. Then he's on the sideline sucking air. Now you got to go win the game without your best playmakers. They do it every time. That's one of my biggest things I've said about McDaniel over and over. He takes Waddle and Tyreek on first down and runs them both 60 yards down the field. Now they're both on the sideline sucking air. Okay, now we need whoever the hell's left to come out here and win the ball game for us. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I get it. And I think Tua could have had Waddle there if he laid it up a little outside a little more instead of putting it out front. I think it might have could have worked, but it didn't. And Waddle was on his knees they were showing it on TV. He's down on his knees trying to catch his breath, and we still got to go win the ball game. And you don't have your best players out there. That's been a common theme forever.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things too. Like if it worked, if Waddle catches a touchdown right there for a 40-yard bomb, we're all in. Like that's amazing. Like, so it just didn't work. And then now you got to pay the price, and that guy's out because you sent your best play on first down.
I'm not even all in if they beat the Bills tomorrow. You got to do a lot more than that.
Yeah, we talked about that. I need time to buy in, but I will respect the win. It counts fully. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you go beat the Bills tomorrow night when you shouldn't, the whole world's counted you out already. Most of your fan base is counting you out. And I do believe the Bills are going to show up with a big old stick tomorrow night thinking, let's finish these dudes off. Because they love crushing us, dude. They love crushing us. And, dude, they can literally send this. They can pack back McDaniel's bag for them tomorrow night. Yeah. And I think they're going to show them try to do that.
They want to be the team that ends the McDaniel era.
They're big brother. They're Debo. They want to be the one. Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying if the Dolphins actually play up to their physicality and that level tomorrow night and beat Buffalo, that's full respect win. There's no asterisk. There's nothing you can take away from that. The only thing you can do is show up the next week on your shows and say, okay, fuck, you did it. I mean, fuck, what else are you going to say? I don't care if it's ugly, if it's pretty. Like, if you go there and beat the Buffalo Bills, I'm giving you full credit. Like, I now will lock back in. We'll see what happens after that. But, yeah, that would be impressive. Anywho.
All right, man.
We shall see. We're almost there. Just about, 12 hours from now, we'll know.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah. Well, all right, brother. I appreciate
All
you
right.
hanging out with me again, brother.
All right. We'll talk soon, brother.
All right, man.